Rounding, Method 2. For this method, we're going to be looking at the length of the Kingda Ka roller coaster. So if you look at your student reference book on page 279, and we need to answer the question, how long is the Kingda Ka roller coaster? You will see that it is 3,118 feet. For this method, we want to round the length to the nearest thousand. So the first thing you need to do is follow along with these steps. So you're going to write the number you are rounding to, which I have done right here, 3,118. What we need to do is we need to mark the digit in the place we are rounding to. We're rounding to the thousands, so we underline the 3 because the 3 is in the thousands place. The next thing we need to do is replace all numbers to the right of this digit with zeros. So I have taken the 3, kept it the same, and all the digits behind have become zeros. The next step is to add a 1 to the digit in the place you are rounding to. So if you notice, I have taken a 3, I've added 1, and it has now become a 4. The digits behind still stay zeros. This is the higher number. The next step is you need to ask yourself, is the number I am rounding closer to the number, to the lower number or the higher number? So if we look, we've come up with 3,000 and we've also come up with 4,000. So if we look at the number 3,118, we need to figure out which is it closer to. And when we look at that, we realize that it is closer to the lower number. So it is closer to the 3,000. So that means for step 5, we round to the closer of the two numbers. So 3,118 rounded to the nearest thousand is 3,000. What I would like you to do now is complete the next 3 problems on the whiteboard using the method that we just talked about. So you're going to compare, you're going to find the lower number and the higher number, and then you're going to compare, is my number closest to the lower number or the higher number? If it's close to the lower number, you're going to round it to the lower number. If it's closest to the higher number, you're going to round it to the higher number. Please pay attention as you're reading what place you are rounding to. That's very, very important. It might not always be to the biggest place in the number. So what I'd like you to do is pause now and complete the problems. When you're finished, I'd like you to resume the presentation and check your work. All right, hopefully you did very good on this and you're ready to check your work. So what I've done is I've given you the solutions and you're just going to check along with me. So for problem 1, 6,978, the lower number would be 6,000. We're going to take that 6, add 1, make it 7,000, and 6,978 is closer to 7,000. So the answer, rounded to the nearest thousand, would be 7,000. So 7,000. Now in this one we were lucky and it was the biggest place in the number. But let's look at problem 2. What happens when we have to round a number to the nearest 100, but in this problem it's actually asking us to round to the nearest 100, and the 100 is actually in the middle of the problem. So then we keep the numbers in front of it all the same. So if you notice, the 4 and the 5 have stayed the same. We take the 2, and then the digits behind become zeros. We add 1 to that 2, and we get a 3. So then we get 45,300. We have to figure out, is 45,241 closer to 45,200 or 45,300? And it is closer to 45,200. So 45,241 rounded to the nearest 100 would be 45,200. On to problem 3. In problem 3, you have to take 36,832 and round to the nearest 10,000. So hopefully what you did is you underlined the 3 because that's in the 10,000s place. Then you took the rest of the digits behind and made them all zeros, so you got 30,000. You added 1 to the 3 to get 4, which gave you 40,000. Then you need to look. 36,832, is it closer to 40,000 or 30,000? And hopefully you realized it was closer to 40,000. So 36,832, round to the nearest 10,000, would be 40,000. Hopefully you got these 3 correct. If not, watch the program again and see if you can figure out where you made your mistake.